science book. Actually, I was having my back book today.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me which topic you are facing the most problem. Uh, because the exam is near, one. I think in a week you are going to have your exams now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so which chapters you are going to have the most problems, which you are not able to understand and having a lot of problems. So we shall go through them because in a 1 week we cannot complete the syllabus. So we must focus those portions that in which you are facing the problems at the highest level. So
Yeah, okay. So we were doing light, and I wanted to do the human eye in the colorful world.
human eye in the colorful world. Some only the some parts are there. That is a natural phenomena. Okay, and these are the simple natural phenomena that that can be explained. When you will going to have your exam?
Monday, next Monday.
Next Monday, na? Next Monday you will be
Yes.
going to have your exams. Okay. So and you will be going to have means light only physics light chapter is coming or along with the light or with only the human eye and the colorful world is coming.
Yes.
Only the human eye and the colorful world is coming.
Both light and human eye both are coming.
Okay, so Tanishka, actually the problems, this chapter is theoretical based. Okay, so give me your mail address. Okay, I will send you the notes. Okay, and these are very simple topics. That's why the sun rises 2 minutes earlier, so 2 minutes before. Okay, this before the sunset means these are the normal problems. That why the sky looks blue, okay, due to the refractions. There is no solvable problems that we you can face the problems in that. So if you will be having some problem, please read that notes thoroughly. Okay, we will teach you that chapter also, but I think you will be
Okay.
going to have more problems in the chapter that is related to light. Okay, in the numerical portion, in the refractive index, okay, in the reflection portion. So I think that will be more better for you that if you study that chapter thoroughly, that because the chances of marks reductions will be more in that topic. Because okay, simple these are the objective questions in the light sorry, and that is a colorful word, no? Okay, so in that portion that you need to learn, okay, that you need to read it thoroughly. For one time reading you will get, I will provide you the notes, printed notes, and if you read it you will get interested, and I will clear the concept. When you read it, I will clear the concept on the next day. Okay, in the next class.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so don't think
Yes,
that we
sir.
will not teach it. Okay, so let's start studying the light chapters numerical portion. Okay, so let's start studying that chapter. Let me share. So okay, the most of the students are going to face having means they face lot of problems in like numerical problems. Okay, so let's study this one. Human eye and the colorful world. Because the portion that means the eye portion is not coming. Okay, means there's a no, only the defects are coming, means the working of eye is not coming. This is not slip in your syllabus, that is the related portion. Okay, and moreover there the only some phenomena, natural phenomena are there that are coming only. Okay, so human eye and the colorful words is a very easy chapter. You think because you have not studied this one only a single time, that's why you're thinking that it might be difficult, but it is easy. Okay, so let's do. Okay, Is my screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Uh, so first of all, when we are solving the problems, okay, actually while we are solving the problems, what kind of problem that we face during the time, let me explain you that. Okay, let me explain you that. So let me explain you. Yeah, in light chapters, we have the three portion, and the problems in which we are going to face is one is the reflections. Okay, reflection chapters, we use simple formula 1 upon f is equals to 1 upon v, okay, plus 1 upon u, and for the magnification we use the formula minus v by u, and that is also equals to height of image upon height of object. Okay, this is the formula for the reflections. And the refractions, in refraction topic, we have the formula 1 upon f is equals to 1 upon v minus 1 upon u, and for magnification we have the formula v by u, and that is equals to height of image upon height of object. Okay, okay, Tanishka. And
Yes, sir.
moreover, we also have some problem related to refractive index. Okay, refractive index, that is denoted by mu, is equals to speed of light in medium 1
So your voice is not audible.
sorry, Tanishka, actually the light has gone, so that's why I need to change the changeovers for that one. Okay, suddenly it happens in India. So uh, let me tell the Nishka to enable to make me the host. Okay, so wait a minute. Yes, Tanishka, is I'm audible to you now? Hello, Tanishka, is I'm
Yes,
audible?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the inconvenience because of the light electricity problems.
No.
And yeah, that's we need to change. Actually, the Wi-Fi connections need to this. That's why this connections interrupts. Okay. So I was just talking about the reflections. The formula of the reflection is this one, and the refraction is this one, and the refractive index is the speed of light in medium one divided by speed of light in medium two. Speed of light in medium two. In medium two. Okay, beta. So how can we write this one? Actually, they are the two types of refractive index. One is the absolute refractive index, another one is the relative refractive index. So this one is whenever we are just comparing, okay, whenever we are just comparing the speed of light in medium one with respect to the speed of light in medium two. Okay, so if you are comparing one and two mediums and there is no specified medium given here, so that will be considered as relative refractive index. And what is absolute refractive index? Absolute refractive index. Refractive index. What does this mean? It means we have confirmed that it is the ratio of speed of light in air or vacuum, speed of light in air / vacuum divided by speed of light in medium, in any other medium. Okay, in any medium. Okay, so you have seen that sometimes in questions this is being given to you that the refractive index of glass is 1.5. So it simply means that it is the absolute refractive index. We are talking about these means the speed of light in medium. We are just comparing the speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in glass. Okay, so we have fixed one medium. We have fixed one medium here. When we are fixing a medium one as a vacuum, then this become absolute refractive index. And if we are not fixing one medium or two medium, for example, sometime it is being asked in the questions that calculate the refractive index of water with respect to glass. Okay, so here the air is not fixed. Air is not fixed. Air is not there. So we will simply write the speed of light in glass divided by speed of light in water. So we will simply write like this way. Here the first medium is not indicating that it is not a vacuum. So this will be considered as absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index. Okay, we will be considering it as absolute refractive index. So what is the difference between the relative refractive index and the absolute refractive index? Tell me. What is the difference between absolute refractive index and the...
Sir, will the upper one will not be the relative one?
Yeah, whenever the first
The
speed of
glass
light
and
in,
water.
yeah, speed of light in the first medium is not vacuum, is not taken as vacuum. First medium is not taken. When we are taking, we are just comparing, we have just confirmed that the first medium is air or vacuum, and the other will be whatever the other medium it will be the absolute refractive index. For example, if I'm saying that the absolute refractive index of glass is 1.5, water is 1.33, that of diamond is 2.42. So what does this mean? This means that we are just comparing the speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in glass. Okay, so we have taken this table. We have just made this table, and when we find the ratio of this one, we find that this is 1.5. And similarly, when we consider speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in water, we find it as 1.33. And similarly, that in diamonds we find 2.42. So when we are just confirming that this first medium is vacuum, then we can make the table, and this table is called the these values are the absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index, because we have just confirmed the first medium, that is vacuum. But in case of relative refractive index, they can be have different values. For example, if I'm saying that if the light is traveling from glass to water, then it will be the speed of light, speed of light, light in glass divided by speed of light in speed of light, light in water. Okay. And the similar way, if I'm saying that if the refractive index of glass with if the light is traveling from glass to let's suppose from what, instead of it is traveling to some other medium, let's suppose this is medium kerosene, you can consider, or oil, you can consider some other anything that you like, but it not let it be it let it be oil, some oil, turpentine or something. The speed of light in speed of light, light in glass divided by speed of light in speed of light, right, in oil. Okay, so we got such type of problems. Okay, so a very a common problem that we have actually related to refractive index is one that we have is, let me explain you that one. Okay, so whenever we are writing this one, we write this like this way, that mu a to g is, this is the absolute refractive index. If we have seen this one, this is a, this means that is air, and the light is traveling from air to glass. The light is traveling from air to glass. Okay, the light is traveling from air to glass. So Tanishka, you need to understood here that we have written here mu a to g, and if I'm saying that if a light is traveling from air to glass and its refractive index is x, let's suppose absolute refractive index is x, then what would be the refractive index if the light is traveling backward, means from glass to air? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? No. So so its refractive index would be 1 by x. It will be 1 by x. Okay, means reciprocal of that one. If I'm saying that this value from air, when the light is traveling from air to glass is 3 by 2, then it would be from when it will be traveling from glass to air, it will be 2 by 3. Reciprocal of this one. Or if I'm saying this is 1.5, so it would be 1 upon 1.5. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another type of problem that comes in the is the when the two absolute refractive index will be given to you and one relative refractive index will be asked. Means type of problems will be two two absolute refractive index, calculation of absolute of relative refractive index from two absolute refractive index. Okay, tell me, if I'm writing here mu a to g, is it an absolute refractive index or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I'm writing it like g to a, is it still a refractive index, absolute refractive index or not? No, it is not, because the first medium should be air. Light should travel from air to some other medium, not from glass to air. Reciprocal is not allowed. Okay, and you need to keep in mind here that the absolute refractive index is always greater than 1. It is always greater than 1. It cannot be less than 1. Okay, so we need to keep in mind here that the absolute refractive index is always greater than 1, and the relative refractive index can be less than 1 or greater than 1. Okay, so the simple type of problem comes here from here is that the two absolute refractive index will be given to you and the relative refractive index will be asked. For example, it is being asked that from when the light is traveling from air to glass, its refractive index is 3 by 2, and when it travels from when it travels from air to water, its refractive index is 4/3. Okay, so we need to calculate that what would be the refractive index when the light is traveling from glass to water. What would be the refractive index when the light will be traveling from glass to water? Okay, so you need to keep in mind here that whenever we are just solving such type of problem, that's very easy. First of all, we need to find out this G and we need W at the end. The G is starting, the light is start traveling from G and it is ending, it is coming in the water. Okay, so we have to write like this way: mu G to W will be equals to, you have to write here G first and then into then W at the last, because we need the G at first. So we have written here G at first and W at the last, we have written here W. But you need to keep your mind that if the absolute refractive index is being given to you, so you have to write here A and you will be writing here A. Sorry, A. Again A and A. Means these two must be common for you. These two must be common for you. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now it has been given to you that the refractive index from air to glass is being given to you, but not glass to air. So what would be the value of when the light is traveling from glass to air?
2/3.
Okay, that will be 2/3 into what would be the when it will be traveling from glass to air to water?
3/4.
It is being given to you, that is 3/4. So you have to write it 3/4 and that will be 8/9. Okay, got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
calculate.
you have written 4/3.
What?
You have written 4/3.
Yes, we have to write here 4/3, na? Because this is air to water. It is the same. It is the same.
So it will not reciprocal. Okay.
No. Because we need the W at the end, na? Why we are doing this one?
Okay.
Why we are writing this one in the reciprocal form? Because we need the G at the first, at the top. Okay. So you need to keep in mind here that now calculate. If I'm asking you, calculate when the light is traveling from G to W. Water to W. How will you write this one?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Calculate this one, W to G, when the light is traveling from water to glass.
Okay. Nine upon eight.
What you are saying? That will be?
9/8.
Yeah, it will be actually it will be the reciprocal of this one. You can simply write, or if you need to write what you will write here, that it will be this one. You will write here W cross and then you have to write it G at the end, and then you will write here A, and that will be A by W. Not so W by A is given to you. A to W is given to you, but not W to A. So you have to write here 3/4 into A to G is being given to you. That is 3/2. That will be 9/8. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so such type of problems first you need to face. Okay, another type of problem from the refractive from the reflections and the refractions is from the magnifications, and from the magnification terms we will be going to face, and you will be going to face other type of problem from the refractions portion. So let's discuss these also. Okay, let's discuss. Okay, so let me make this one. Wait a minute. Okay, so here we have we need to first how can we calculate? We need to know the actual the value, the range that array means. I mean, we can simply say that we need to calculate the range in our mind, that what will be the answer of our problems. Okay, for example, because we have only 6 cases and out of 6, 2 are not from the 2 the problems will not come. Only the 4 cases of concave and convex, concave mirror and convex lens. Let's study both of them. Okay, so this one I'm making a concave mirror. and here I'm making the convex lens, convex lens. Concave mirror and convex lens both are going to concave mirror and convex lens both are going to form the same images when the object is okay. So you need to keep in mind here. Anishka, now you should be very careful. What I'm teaching to you, you should be very understand each and everything very very clearly. Okay. So let's study this one. Okay. So we have these lenses. Okay. So let's suppose this is the focal length of the mirror and this is the radius of curvature. Okay. And of the mirror. This is what type of mirror is it? It is concave mirror. Concave mirror. Okay. And this is convex lens. Convex lens. Okay. First, we need to understood the sign magnifications. Okay, means we need to understood the sign convention. Sign convention is very important because if you did not understood the sign convention, then you will not be able to solve the problems. Okay, so this is the what is this? This is the positive y-axis. This one is the negative y-axis. This one is the positive x-axis. Here from this one we are considering this point as pole as 0, 0, and this will be considered as negative x-axis. Negative x-axis. Okay, Anishka, you understand?
Yes.
So here the distance where the object is placed, we kept it as we simply kept it as u. We simply treat it as u, means u is the object distance. For example, if the object is placed here, okay, so then simply this distance from here to here will be considered as u, and this is called the object distance. Object distance. Got it? Got it?
Yes.
And will the object distance will be calculated as negative or positive?
Negative. Negative because on the left side of the
yeah, because it will be always considered as negative. Okay. Okay. And this one is the height of the object. This one is the height of the object. So will it be considered as this one with the height? HO means height of object. So will it be considered as positive or negative?
positive.
Height of object. So always we are writing here always. These are height of object will be positive, and height of object will be considered as positive, and object distance will be taken as negative. Okay, got it? Now let's move further. If I'm making an image, okay, and if I'm making an image here, let's suppose if I'm just making this image here, and the image formed is, it is the image distance. Okay, so will this image form, in this condition, this v, image distance, v is equals to image distance. Okay. So I'm taking here v is image distance. Will it be considered as negative or positive? Negative. So image distance. Okay. If the real means inverted image is formed, so it is negative. Real and inverted. For mirror, it will be negative. Okay, it will be negative. So here we understood here that this one is negative. Okay, negative. And what is the focal length? If I complete this mirror, if I complete this lens as a whole, because this is a part of a sphere, so if I complete this one as a part of a sphere, so I will find somewhere its center. I will find its center somewhere. Okay,
yes,
so
sir.
what would be the center of this here would be the center, that here is the center of this sphere. Okay, so if I'm saying this R is the center of this sphere, so will the R will be considered as positive or negative? Means if you measure the distance from the this point O, this R will be considered as positive or negative? It will be negative. Yes, it will be negative. So the focal length, since R is if we are having a number that is negative, so half of it will be negative. So its focal length is half of the radius. So that will be also the considered as negative. So focal length will be negative. Okay, I'm talking about this one. Okay. Okay. If the image here in some case, if the object is placed at a particular position, sometimes its virtual image is formed. And that is formed behind the mirror. Okay, and that is formed behind the mirror, and that is upright image is formed. Okay, and we can say that its upright image is formed. So sometimes it happens that when the image formed is upright and it is enlarged than the size of the object. So this one, in this case, if the image, this is image virtual image, something, if I'm writing here, this one is virtual image. So if virtual image is formed, will it be taken as positive or negative?
Positive.
It will be considered as positive. Positive for virtual image. Positive for virtual image. And the height of image, if it is real like this one, will it be negative or positive?
Height of image, positive.
If it is inverted, then you have to measure this one in the negative y-axis. If it is real inverted image, so it will be negative. So height of image will be negative.
If image is real and inverted, then the height of image will be negative.
Yes, every time. If it is real inverted, it will be negative. Okay, for a real and inverted image, height of image will be negative. And for real and virtual and virtual means that cannot be formed, means that is not the real. Okay, and I'm saying erect, the word erect means upright. So if it is upright means upward, so it will be always positive in the positive y-axis. So it will be for both the lenses and the mirror, it will be we can simply say that it will be positive. So for virtual and erect image, it will be positive. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we shall be moving further, and let's solve some problems. That is very simple. Last topic that we need to understood is the magnification case. Magnification. Okay. So magnification, what is magnification? It is the magnification can be defined as, it is a ratio of height of image to the height of object. For mirrors. Means height is simple for mirror and lens for everyone. But for the mirror formula that I have written you that we have some changes for the mirror formula. The magnification for mirror is minus V by U, and that is also equals to image distance upon object distance. Image distance upon object distance, and that is negative. This is negative sign here, so we have to write here, this is the formula sign, negative distance, negative of image distance upon object distance. And if the magnification is real, means if the real image is formed, so whenever it is being given, then a real image is forms and it is 2 times magnified. Okay, for example, it is being given to you that in the questions that image is 2 times magnified image is formed, and it is the real inverted image is formed. Real, the word real is means shown. So for solving the problems, we need to write the value of m as negative as negative when real image is formed, and when virtual image is formed, we need to take the m, the value of m for as positive. So it is common for both for lenses and mirror. The value of m, value the value of m, value of m positive for virtual image, and value of m will be negative for erect image. Erect image. Okay, got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Please take the screenshot of this one.
I have written.
You have written. You have
Yes,
also
sir.
taken. Okay. Let's move further. Let's move further, Tanishka, and let's understand the concept very clearly because it is very important. Okay. I'm saying simple that I'm simply saying that we have the two lenses. One is the convex lens and a concave mirror. We are talking about these two. Both of them are going to show the same property. The image formation is same for both of them. I'm just going to represent you that this is a concave mirror. Okay, I'm not showing you the actual ray diagram formation, but I'm showing you here that if I'm writing here focus, okay, and this is the radius of curvature. Okay, and if I'm saying that the image is formed if the object is placed behind the mirror, sorry, beyond R, if the object is placed beyond R, then its image will be formed between R and F, and it will be diminished. It will be diminished. When the object is kept beyond R, the image formed is diminished. Okay, got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
If the object is placed behind R, okay, if the object is placed behind R, so we will say that simply that the image formed is, okay, image formed is between R and F. Okay, when the object is placed exactly at R, if the object is placed exactly at R, then its image will be formed exactly at R, and of same size. I'm making this one as of same size. At R, it will be same size. Beyond R of the object is placed, then it will be diminished, and the object comes simply the object is placed between R and F. Means after the R, if the object moves after the R, then its enlarged image will be formed. So if the object is placed here, if the object is placed here, okay, if the object is placed here, suppose if the object is placed here, okay, making the object is placed between R and F. Wait a minute, what is happening? The object is placed between R and F, so its image will be found beyond R and it will be enlarged. So exactly at R, between R and F, green representing same, red representing the same, its image. And if the object is placed between R and F, then its image will be found beyond R. Okay, got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the very important concept, from which the most of the question is being asked, it is if the object is placed between pole and focus, then its image will be formed beyond R and it will be enlarged in size. Okay, got it? So tell me, if the object is placed beyond R, where its image will be formed?
So can you repeat?
I'm saying that if the object is placed beyond R, then its image will be formed between R and F. Got it? Beyond R, between R and F, and its reciprocal is also true. If the object is placed between R and F, then its image will be formed beyond R. If the object is placed exactly at R, then the image will be also formed exactly at R. And if the object is placed between focus and pole, then its image will be formed behind the mirror, and this is a virtual and erect image. Virtual and erect image. This is the only case. This is the only case where virtual and erect image is formed by concave mirror. Like image is formed. All these images, this one, this red, green, and blue are real images. These are the real images. So I can write here that these are the real images. Real images. These are the real images. Okay, got it, Tanishka? Got it? Okay, let's move further. Let's move further, and that's very important. Okay, so if I ask you that the object distance, an object is placed at a distance of 15 centimeter. Object is placed you need to give me the answer very quickly. Okay, object distance is 15 centimeter and focal length is 20 centimeter. Okay, where would be the image formed? Is it real image or a virtual image? Tell me. Think and answer. Where is the object placed? First you need to think, where is the object placed? Where is the object placed? Tell me, Tanishka. If the object distance is 15 and focal length is 20, where is the object placed? Between pole and focus, between focus and radius of curvature, beyond R.
Between radius and focus.
Between, not, it is not between. Here, if I'm saying this one is 20, 15 should lie from here, na? The distance 15. So the object will be lie.
Yes.
Okay, so this one, you got it. And if the object is placed between pole and focus, its virtual images will be going to form. Okay. So tell me, the height of the image will be positive or negative?
Okay.
Height of image sign. Tell me the sign of height of image, positive or negative? And image distance, positive or negative?
Positive.
Both are positive.
Okay. Height will be positive.
Okay. Here the focal length will be taken as negative or positive?
Focal length.
Yes, it will be taken as positive or negative.
Sorry.
Will it be taken as negative or positive?
Negative.
Yes, for the concave mirror, focal length, whether this is concave mirror or concave lens, the focal length will be taken as negative. Okay, got it? Got it, Nishka, very good, very good. So if I'm saying that, next part, this one, need to practice. Second, if I'm saying that if the object is placed at a distance of, if an object is placed at a distance of 70 centimeter, and its focal length is 35. Okay, if the height of the image is 25 centimeter, find the height of the object and the image distance v. What will be the value? Tell me. Firstly, you need to recognize the case. Which case I'm talking about? Which case I'm talking about?
Is the image being formed between R and S? Is the objective between R and S?
Think again, use your mind, think again. Yes, are you saying something?
Is the object beyond R?
No, it is not beyond R. If the focal length is, if the focal length is 35, what would be the radius of curvature? What would be the radius of curvature? It will be 70, twice of, because R is twice of F, focal length. So if I'm saying this is 35, so this will be the 70. And object is placed at distance of 70 centimeter. It means object is placed at R. So we will be, image will be formed at, what will be the sign of
R.
At R? And that will be positive 70 or negative 70? Tell me first.
Negative.
Negative. So the answer should be negative 70. Okay. Height, if the height of image is 25, then what would be the height of object?
25.
Huh? It will be 25 centimeter. Very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. Let's come, Sanishka. Let's understand one more concept. Okay. And this is the same for the convex mirror. These sign convections are same for the convex mirrors, convex mirror also. Why I'm saying this is convex mirror? Because it's when object is placed, if I'm placing the object like this way, I'm placing the object here. So you see that this shape is an oval out from the outside, it is not curved from inside. It is like the oval side from the outside. And this is similar to that of convex mirror. It is similar to that of convex mirror. So that's why we consider it as convex lens. So this is convex lens, but the property of this one is similar to that of concave mirror. The property of this lens is similar to that of concave mirror. Okay, got it. So let's understood this one. This one is, if I'm saying that, okay, let's make this lens. Okay, so if I'm saying that this one is the focus and this one is the radius of curvature. Okay, and here the two are, if I'm saying this one is the focus and this is R, so here it will be again focus and here it will be again radius of curvature. Got it? Got it? So here is R1, this is R1, this is F1, this is R2, F2, this one is R2. Or sometimes we write R2 as 2F2 and sometimes we write R1 as 2F1. Okay, twice of F1. Okay, so it is similar to that one. If the object is placed, because in the mirror, in case of mirror, we don't write like this way. Okay, so in case of mirror, if the object is placed, if the object is placed beyond R, then its image will be formed between R and F here. Okay. So do you think that this distance will be calculated as positive or negative? Tell me. This is the image distance and this one is the object distance. U. So here the U, the sign, what will be the sign of U?
U will be negative.
Why? Here, oh, sorry, U will be negative. Okay, very good. And V?
Positive.
Yes, from here we consider the sign convections. Okay, from here we consider the sign convection. Okay, from here we consider the sign convection actually. Okay, this I have not drawn the lens properly, so that's why I'm having some problems. Let me draw this one. Okay, properly, so that, because in writing pad it is very tough to draw something because this is an electronic pen and we need to make things clearly. Okay, so this one is the lens, let it be. Okay, so if I'm saying that the object is placed exactly at R, if the object is placed exactly at R, then the image form will be, if the object is placed exactly at R, then the image form will be exactly at R2, and it will be of same size. Okay, got it? Here you see that the object is, and I have made the object enlarge, and here I'm saying that is diminished. So if it is same, that if the object is placed beyond R, then its image is diminished. At R, same size, and if the object is placed after the R, the image will be enlarged. So if I'm placing the object between R and F, if I'm placing the object between R and F, let's suppose if I'm placing this object between R and F, so this image will be beyond R. Like that way, if I'm placing this one between R and F here, so here the image is formed as beyond R. In a similar way, if the R is placed between R, but what is the difference? That the difference is simply that in the mirror, the same side of the lens where the object is placed, the image is formed, and in the lenses, the lights actually penetrate and it forms the images to the other sides of the lens. Okay, so if the object is placed between R and F, that's a very important case. Sorry, between F and if I'm saying that if the object is placed between F and optical center, then its image will be formed at the same size, same side as the object is. Here there is no penetrations will take place and the image will be formed this one, this size. Okay, got it? And this will be enlarged.
Will it be virtual only?
Yeah, it will be virtual end, because if the upright image is formed, the virtual and erect image will form. Virtual and erect, because whenever erect image is formed means upright, erect means upright, erect means upright. So if it is being written that erect image means, it means virtual and erect, it will be virtual and erect. Okay, so got it, Kanishka?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I for both the lenses I'm talking to you now, I'm talking about the concave mirror and convex lens. Okay, so what would be the focal length of convex lens? Positive or negative?
Focal length of convex lens.
Yes. Positive or negative?
Positive.
It will be positive, because from the object, it is always facing like this way. If I'm placing the object to this, we have arbitrarily chosen that we always keep the object on the left hand side. So if I'm placing here, so we need to complete it like this way. And if I'm completing it like this way, then the sphere will be going to complete like this way. And if R will be there, so its focal length will be in positive. Okay, so if its focal length is positive. Okay, so convex lens or convex mirror, convex lens or convex mirror, focal length is positive, focal length is positive. Okay, and here we simply say concave mirror, for concave mirror and concave lens, concave mirror and concave lens and concave lens, focal length is negative. Got it? Got it, Kanishka?
Yes, sir.
So just close your eyes and I want to ask you something. You need to find an image. If the object is placed beyond R, where would be it image formed? Beyond R, image will be formed between where?
In mirror or
both in both the lenses and mirror, the answer will be same.
So it will, if the mirror image object is beyond R.
Yes. Where would be the image formed?
Okay, so if the image is beyond R.
Object is placed beyond R, where will be the image formed?
Between R and F.
Very good. Exactly R?
On R.
Beyond R and F? So object is placed between R and F.
Then it will be beyond R.
Very good. And if the object is placed between pole and focus in mirror?
Then it will be on the other side.
It will be behind the mirror and
Behind the mirror.
Okay, behind the mirror and virtual erect image will be formed. Okay. Okay. And it will be magnified. You need to keep in mind it will be magnified. Okay. And
Okay.
in case of lenses, if the object is placed between focus and mirror, focus and pole,
It will be on the same side, upright and erect and virtual.
Very good. Okay. Very good. Now we have only 10 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. So we need to keep in mind, we need to teach you something very excellent. Okay, so let me explain you something more. Okay, very good. So let's move Tanishka and let understood here that if I'm saying that the object is placed at a distance of at a distance of 19 centimeter. Okay, just tell me if I'm going to give you, you have to give me the exam answers. Just thinking, just you need to think. Okay, an object when placed, an object when placed, when placed, when placed uh, at 21 centimeter, it form slightly diminished image when it is placed at 19 centimeter, it form slightly enlarged image. Okay, slightly enlarged. The aspect